Hey there folks, it's Eric from Support Adventure here in a park in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And I just got back here yesterday from a little 11-day trip that I made from here to California, where we have lots of lovely clients and I really enjoyed my trip. But what this video is about, basically I'm very happy to be back in Thailand, and even just like one whiff of the air at the Bangkok airport was enough to just like remind me how much I love this country and how much I love being here and how I think it's a great place for making a lifestyle and having a balance between work and pleasure, actually. So, I mean, I also live in Serbia most of the year. I live in Serbia, and that's another country that gives me a similar feeling. And so, in being the person who's promoting this sort of lifestyle of working online and on the internet and living in these cheaper, more relaxed countries, in being that person, I feel I need to actually just make this video and tell you why I feel so good here. So first of all, the weather here is really nice, people are really nice, and it's affordable to live here. I mean, those are basically the three things. It's also a very beautiful culture with lots of history and stuff. I can say the same for Serbia. And it's just this feeling of being in a place where it's a country that's not just an economic powerhouse. So on the way back here, I stopped in China, and it becomes really obvious. It's very similar to the United States in certain aspects, in that it is a machine. It is an economic powerhouse, and they prioritize the economy, the growth. People prioritize work over living, and it's just a completely different lifestyle than I like to find in these types of places like Thailand and Serbia and Colombia. We just posted a video yesterday about Tim, one of our contractors, who was living in Silicon Valley and moved to Colombia. And basically, yeah, I never look back on my decision I made over like 10 years ago to make not Canada my home, to make my home away from there, because, well, let's face it, there's a lot of stress that occurs in the Western English speaking, especially the financial centers. I mean, in the big cities like Toronto, London, New York, San Francisco, I guess Sydney. I haven't been there recently, so I can't really attest to how stressful it is, but I hear stories that it's the same. But these Anglo-sphere centers are very stressful places to live if you're not a rich person. If you have to make a career, if you have to make a family, I'm pretty sure it's just a feeling that it's always, the society is always on top of you, trying to squeeze more out of you. Whereas a country like Thailand, I just feel like it's a country where people exist in their own human culture, and the government is there, and the government is a thing in people's lives, and by some measures you can say that Thailand and Serbia are less free countries than the Western countries, but in terms of the emotional freedom, in terms of the way that people interact with each other, places like Thailand, Serbia, and Colombia, which are the three main places where we have people, those places are much more free on an emotional level, because there's not such a competition for making it in life. People are just being themselves. You can just you can be a street food vendor and be happy. And so it comes to, and yeah, if you're a street food vendor in America, for example, there's all sorts of regulation that will come into play. There's all sorts of economic pressures that you'll have to face. Hiring staff will be expensive, and you won't really be living in a community. But here in these countries, you can tell that it's family first, community second, and money third. Money and success and professionalism are third priorities. Now, how does that translate to Support Adventure? A lot of us want that. Want an atmosphere where you can raise a family and there's good family values, and a lot of us want a place where you feel you're a part of a community, not just an individual in sort of like a individualist culture where everybody has their own individual career, their own individual property, and their own individual sort of opinion, and their own individual loneliness, in fact. These countries are more social. So you'll see if you watch the video of Tim that we posted yesterday, he'll say that. I'll say that. A lot of us will say that. So if you want lots of money for your individual existence, go to, Silicon Valley, go to New York City, go to Toronto, Canada, go to UK, London, and all these competitive places. But if you want a nice place to live, come on, Thailand and Serbia, I keep on repeating it, but we just prefer living in these countries, and that's that. And Supportive Venture exists to give people who want to live in these countries yet still be a part of that Western business thing, but not make it like their whole meaning of their existence. That gives them the opportunity to be a part of the economy of the United States of America and to bring a certain amount of prosperity to their lives here and the lives of those around them. So I'm growing this thing, and this is my business, and this is what I stand for, is giving the opportunity to people who want to live in these more humble places and live a more humble existence and not have to be on a sort of social hierarchy where they feel like they're climbing a ladder while having their teeth kicked out by the people above of them on the ladder. Especially in the UK right now, I think it's very hard to live on a normal salary and actually fulfill your dreams. But if you had even half that, what a normal salary, let's say a normal salary in the UK is between 2,000 and 3,000 British pounds a month. Right, if you had half of that here, you're living like a king. You're doing what you want. And the weather's always good. So, for me the decision was obvious. And for a lot of you who are watching this, it might not be that obvious. You might be curious about Supportive Venture, how you can have this sort of lifestyle, but I think you should try it. If you feel the calling and you've been to a place like Thailand or somewhere in Eastern Europe where you felt a more genuine human connection, a more genuine and humble lifestyle that resonated more with how you want to wake up feeling every day, then give it a try. So it's great to be back in Thailand. California was it was a very interesting experience to see how people live, how much driving was involved, and our clients were great. I enjoyed the experience very much. Lots of cool people there doing cool things, but the lifestyle is not what I prefer. The lifestyle I prefer is having my guitar and my bicycle while running Supportive Venture from my laptop in cafes and working from home and all this sort of stuff, and I want to give this sort of lifestyle to as many people as possible. That's what Supportive Venture means. Now granted, a lot of our positions are full-time positions that are similar to office jobs, but at least you get to work that job from home, from an environment of your choosing, and not commute to work, and be in a place where you actually have purchasing power, which puts you in a really nice position. Anyways guys, what are your thoughts? Post in the comments below. I'm interested, and I guess this is just kind of like a welcome home video for me, because I feel at home in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Not as much as I do in Belgrade, Serbia, but I definitely feel more at home in these places than I do in the place of Toronto, Canada, where I grew up at this point, where I only ever go for Christmas. So I'm going next month and that's it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this rambling video. I'll catch you guys later.